All right, so the crosscut. Let's take a look at the sheet. Crosscut is defined as cutting between two separate actions that are related in some way. For example, in the movie Father of the Bride 2, the camera cuts across the action of Annie going through labor in one room and Nina going through labor in another room. In the movie Down with Love, you've got two characters who are preparing for a date. And they're listening to the same song, although they're listening to different versions of that song. And they're getting ready, and we can see their different reactions and what they're thinking about the other person while they're preparing for the date.
Spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, darling, kiss me.
The actors in here are Renee Zellweger and Ewan McGregor.
Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore.
What's so neat is they were doing the same action when they cut. Listening to the same song, but obviously very different interpretations of that song, which create a very different mood.
Please be true.
In other words,
This movie is a satire, or it's a spoof off of 1960s romantic comedies, so it pokes a lot of fun at that concept.
In other words, please be true. In other words.
Alright, so what we see there again is the two storylines merging together. So oftentimes with a lot of different films that have multiple storylines that come together at the end, they're going to use these crosscuts to show you what is going on at the exact same time with multiple different people or multiple different settings. Now, here's a cut from Singing in the Rain, which is follow focus. And like I said, with this particular film, with this particular musical, they do a beautiful, beautiful job of not having really, really long camera shots before they cut, just to show you how talented these individual actors are. So I believe we're only, in one entire scene, we're going to see only one particular cut. And in Singing in the Rain, the lead character, Gene Kelly, had 102 fever when he filmed this. So keep that in mind, that when you're watching this, just how impressive this is. And the camera is going to be very, very mobile. So the camera is going to be constantly moving while we're watching the shot.
Good night, Kathy. See you tomorrow.
Good night, darling. Take care of that throat. You're a big singing star now, remember? This California dew is just a little heavier than usual tonight.
Really? From where I stand, the sun is shining all over the place.
Water so that the water would show up on screen. So not only is he really sick, but he's running around and dancing in milky water. See, the camera would be on a dolly, so it would be moving right with him, which is really cool.
singing in the rain, just singing in the rain. What a glorious feel, and I'm happy again. I'm laughing at clouds so dark up above. The sun's in my heart, and I'm ready for love. Let the stormy clouds chase everyone from the place. Come on with the rain, I've a smile on my face. I walk down the lane with a happy refrain, just singing, singing in the rain, dancing in the rain. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm happy again. I'm singing and dancing in the rain.
The matchstick, you messed up. They just have to start that whole sequence all over again. If you love musicals, you definitely need to see this. Even if you don't, I know I'm a big musical person, but my brother's not, and this is one of his favorite films too. And there's all sorts of really cool trivia in regards to this. So this particular film is one that's held in pretty high esteem. Hey, Alex, do you want to rotate, or are your hands?
I'm good.
Okay, let me know if you want to rotate out.
Just chilling.
So follow focus, really, really neat. And again, that takes a lot of planning from the filmmaker, the director, the camera crew, and the actor as well to get that follow focus to be just right. The next one is rack focus. And I tried to point this out to you folks a little bit during the social network. But rack focus allows us to take, if there are two subjects or multiple subjects in one camera frame, it allows the director to make one blurred out and one very clear and focused. And oftentimes this symbolizes a revolution or an epiphany or one character coming out of the dark into the light or gaining some sort of new understanding. And if we look at the sheet here, the rack focus is a shot where focus is changed while shooting. Unlike a follow focus, a rack focus shot is usually done not from necessity of keeping someone in focus, but to shift our attention from one thing to the other. So when we were in the deliberation room with Mark Zuckerberg and his lawyer, when Mark was kind of taking over power in that particular situation, we had seen that the lawyer faded out and that Mark came into better focus. And here is a great example of a rack focus. So we see that the glass is really, really blurry, and they've shifted the focus to gain our attention, and this back becomes really, really blurry. So the director is literally telling us exactly where to look or what to focus on with that particular focus. So that was fast. Let's watch it again. Again, everything's blurred out. The background becomes really, really clear, and then they're going to switch focus so that we naturally, without even realizing it, we're focusing on the front object. All right, and those are your major focuses. We're going to come back to sound later on when it comes to The Graduate, because the sound is more important there. Keep this sheet. This particular sheet is literally your text, which is going to allow us to identify these shots in Psycho, The Graduate, and movies that you're going to be watching independently. All right, now we're going to switch gears to one of my favorite films of all time, which is Psycho. You want to stop that for a second?
Okay. Wait. Do I press the center button?
What?
Do I press the center button?
Press the